Hey YouTube, GarageBass here, back at it again. On today's episode, we're gonna work on a '06 Lincoln Navigator. We're gonna convert the air suspension to a coil shock suspension. As you can see, our suspension is in bad shape. It's all the way down, and it's too expensive to fix the original air suspension. So we're just gonna go ahead and convert it. We bought the parts on Amazon, really cheap. They range between $250 to $350. You can check on the link down in the description. And you can check what matches your vehicle and go ahead and buy it there or not. And we're going to show you how to replace it. I'm going to start with the front and then I'm going to do the back. I'm just going to do one on each side. You're going to have to watch the whole video of me doing all four. So I'm just going to do the front first and then the back. I'm going to walk you through the steps. It's very easy and way cheaper than fixing your actual air suspension. So here we go, guys. Alright guys, so I'm going to start with the front. I'm going to raise the vehicle from the middle, so both tires will be up in the air. Make sure you raise it from the body, not from the wheels itself. I'm going to show you the location of where. You're going to need two towers, just like those, or I guess blocks, or I guess you're going to have to make sure the vehicle stays up. I have a jack. After the jack, I'll put the towers. Go ahead and disconnect the battery because there's an electrical issue with the air suspension. So just for safety, disconnect the battery. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then before I raise the vehicle, I'm going to loosen up the nuts on the tires. So just come in here with a flathead, and you probably have the same rim. I kind of just pop this out just like this. There you go. Pops out, and now you can loosen up the nuts. Hey guys, also come here to the back of the truck. Open the tailgate, and over here on the left hand side, you're going to have this little compartment. Just open it, just like that. And in there, you'll see a little button, and that's to turn on or off the suspension, the air suspension. So don't touch the red one. It's just here. Just put this in off. There you go. So since we're doing the conversion, now you're not gonna have the compressor turn on and try and pump air to the air suspension because we're gonna have the coil shocks. So just make sure and put this off, and there we go. Okay guys, so I raised the vehicle with the jack and I put the towers right there on the frame, as you can see. So make sure they're on the frame and the tires are up in the air. I also, in the back, if I can show you, I put some 2x4s right behind the tires just for safety on both of them. And like I mentioned before, make sure the tires are straight. But just wanted to show you the placement of the towers and what am I using, what's what I'm using just for this job. So let me show you what to do next. Okay guys, so now after you remove the tire, the first thing you're gonna do now is going to be to remove this to the electrical and then the air hose. It's very simple. I actually did it already, but I kind of broke this. But I'm gonna show you. So this one is already loose, and the mechanism is just like this. As you can see on this side, it has a little leg like this. It has one on this side too, but I kind of broke it because it's toasted. But you kind of just move this back. See, this one is actually broken too. Move this back and move this one out, and then pull out, and then that's how you remove this one. That's the electrical, which we're not gonna use anymore because we're not gonna have electric suspension. And then this one is the air. What you do is just push it in, hold the red part, and then pull out. All right, very easy. Just push in all the way up, hold the red part, and then pull out, and then that's it. So that's how you remove those two, the connectors. Now we're gonna move out to the second part. Okay, so now that we remove the electrical parts of it, just come up here to the top, and there's 3 nuts, which is this one, that one back there, and then this one that we're gonna remove. It's a size 15. You can use a nut, but like for example, the one that I have, it's a small, so it doesn't really fit all the way through when you put the ratchet in, so it doesn't get a grip. So you're gonna have to use a wrench, which that's what I'm gonna use, and just remove this 3 nuts just like this. Remove all 3, and then I'm show you what to do next, which we're gonna remove this this nut right here. But just do that, and here we go. Okay guys, so I removed those 3 bolts. Those 3 nuts up there, I'm sorry. And now we're gonna come down here and gonna remove this nut right here. It's a size 21. You can use your a socket, but the thing is that this little stick here, if you turn, it may turn as well. And so you kind of need to hold this with a size 10. So there's a size 10, and then let me get this. I'll be using this. It's a size 21, like I said, so you can use your wrench, size 21. And according to the rules of lefty loosey, righty tighty, you're gonna be pushing. You're gonna be pushing that way towards the engine, just like that. See? But you see how this turned at the bottom? So you're gonna use both of my hands, but obviously make it turn that way. So we can remove it, and that's it. So let me remove that and then show you what to do next. All right, guys. So we removed that, and now we're gonna move forward to the big bolt right there. It's a size 30. As you can see, it here has a nut. So we're gonna remove this nut right here. It's a size 30. You can rent that socket on at AutoZone or any auto part, or you can buy it. I'm gonna put a description down below on a link in my descriptions if you wanna buy it online. It's about $10 or so. It's a size 30, and it's gonna be the big ratchet, not the medium size, but the full size ratchet. So we're gonna use this, but I'm also gonna put a pipe. I'm gonna show you the setup just so you can do it. And you may have the issue, which you probably will, because I'm gonna probably have it too, where this is gonna spin as well. So I'm gonna use this if it happens, but I'll probably be able to loosen it up with this. So just use the ratchet and just add a pipe like that, because it's gonna be strong. I also put some WD-40 before, but let me show you guys how I'm just gonna loosen this up. And there we go. See how it gave us that little. There we go. Obviously, you're gonna be turning lefty loosey, righty tighty. So see how I knew obviously the whole bolt is gonna turn. So what I'm gonna do is just place this right here. Let me just get the right size. Okay, and then turn. And I'm just gonna let it go all the way. And then it's gonna be, see, it's holding it up there. That's it. So you're gonna need basically two things to do this. Two size 30 either sockets or a wrench and a socket, or just a setup that I have here right now. And once you take this off, I'm gonna show you how to remove the whole air socket, air shock. Okay, guys. So now that we removed this with the 1/2 inch ratchet and the 30mm socket. It's very easy, came out as you can see, and then just pull this out. It's already loose, so now it's just a matter of playing it, and that's it. Oops. So that's it, guys. This is our air suspension. I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna put it away, and I'm gonna show you how to install our coil suspension. So here we go. All right, guys. So I removed the air shock like I mentioned before. I was reinstalling the new one. This is the new one. I bought it on eBay. And I noticed that, as you can see here, the shape, there's 3 bolts kind of sticking out. If you pay attention, you can see that the distance between this 2 and this 2 is the same, but not this one. So it's basically kind of like a right triangle with 2 equal sides. And see here, this bump here, and you can see how this one is smaller. So this gap is smaller. When you go in here, you'll notice the shape, as well. Like this is the small side, and you can see how the shape of the bump is there, the big side. So it kind of gives you a pattern as how it goes. When I tried to install the new shocks, I noticed that this was off. So basically, when this was fitting in there, it wasn't fitting down there. So it was basically like this one. Basically, I haven't fixed it. So basically, the short side is here, but this thing is looking the other way. So it didn't really fit. I couldn't make it fit up and down at the same time. So what I did is, I just loosened up this nut. It's a size 14. I loosened this up just a few spins, and then I was able to, manually. I have to do it with both of my hands, but once I loosened that up a little bit, I was able to turn this because it was actually turning that. but I had to put that in place. I didn't screw it in, I didn't put the bolt in, but I just put it there so I can hold it. So I placed it in place, and then I got my I got this set up right here, just like this. I use my pipe, and I just spin a couple, maybe 3, and loosen it up a little bit, enough for me to use both of my hands and kind of turn this and shape it and put it in the place that I need it. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Oh, I can't. But I already put it in shape. As you can see, the short part is here on the right. So now I'm gonna be able to place it. You may have the same issue with yours. You may not. But if you have that issue, it's a really easy fix. It's just this. It took me a minute or so. You just have to put it back there, because if not, you won't be able to hold this, and you won't be able to loosen this up. So just put it back in place, and then I'm gonna put a link of a set that I saw on Amazon with excellent reviews. You can check that out and buy that one. I bought this one on eBay, but try buying the one on Amazon. It'll probably have better. You won't have this issue. But even if you have this issue, it's not a big deal. Just loosen this up. Now I'm gonna tighten this back up and put it back in. Okay, guys. So everything is back in place. As you can see, I put those back on. When I put this on, I actually tightened the middle one right here. I used the pipe. It's already tight. I put that back in. Since you're here, I went ahead and just zip tied this to the side so it won't, all the cables, I mean, they're gonna be there now. And now to put this in, you have to jack up the car, this side. So I put my jack right there, as you can see. And I picked it up, and now it's perfect. Well, I'm gonna use both of my hands, but it's perfect. I can put it in here, you know, put it in there, and then keep jacking it up, and then I just put the nut from before, zip tie that in, and that's it. That's how you replace the front shock. I'm gonna do the same on the other side, and now I'm gonna show you in the rear. It's a bit different, but hey guys, so far so good. Drop the like, hit subscribe, and share this video. Let me show you the rear now. Hey guys, so now we're gonna do the back side. And for the rear, I'm just gonna show you where I put the towers, just so you can have an idea. I already took out the tires, but I put them right there on the frame. That's 1. See the frame, and then that's 2. Just right there, as you can see. Posted both of them on the same locations on the frames. I already took out the tires. Now let me show you guys. Okay guys, so this is the rear. I'm gonna assume you already took out the tire, which I don't think I have to show you that, but it's a bit more complicated in the front. It's just a little bit of more work, but it's easy. I'm gonna show you quick what you have to do. So we're gonna start off by disconnecting the air hose and also the electrical part, which as you did in the front, for this one, you just have to push the red part up and pull this down. You can do it with both of your hands. I can't do it because I'm recording. And then for the clip here, it has a little clip. The plug has a little clip right here. So what you have to do is come in here and kind of twist to the side like this. And there's one on the other side as well, so you can do that. You can do it with both of your hands. This will probably break because they're really toasted, and as soon as you kind of turn it back, it breaks. But we're gonna convert it anyway, so you're not gonna need it anymore. Okay guys, so I remove the plugs, as I mentioned before. Just put them on the side. Now we're gonna remove these 3 nuts. There's 1, 2, and then there's one in the back, right there, as you can see. Okay, they're size 15. I recommend you use a wrench for this, just because of the space. But if you can squeeze in a ratchet with a socket, that's good. But just use this. Remove those 3, and then we're gonna move on to the sway bar in just a second. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. Let me do this first, and then show you how to do next. So I removed those 3 nuts up there. It was very easy. Now you're gonna come down here, and we're gonna have to remove this sway bar. It's kind of easy, just so we can have space. So this is, you come down here, and it's a size 18, and we're gonna remove this nut right here. It's a size 18, but you have to use your wrench, because as you turn, this little piece here is gonna turn as well. That's a size 8, so you're gonna have to use a size 8, just like this, and hold it. Don't let it move while you turn this nut. Obviously counterclockwise, lefty loosey, righty tighty, right? So just do that. Just turn this, remove this, and then while you're holding this, You can also use your socket and a wrench if you have a size 8. Socket in your ratchet, just like this, and just hold it in. Maybe that'll give you some more space. Remove that. Once this comes out, you'll just pull this up, straight up. If it should come out easily. If it doesn't, then you have to kind of move around and get in the right spot to where it's straight, and it'll come right up. So just do that, and then I'll show you what to do next. Alright guys, so I removed the sway bar. I removed that knot in the bottom, like I mentioned before. It actually wasn't turning. Now it's turning, but it was so stuck there that it wasn't turning, so I didn't even have to use the size 8 to hold it, but you may have to. Taking it out of here was a little bit of a pain because you have to put it like in the right angle so it can come out. What I was doing just a lot of this, just shaking this like this, up and down, while with my other hand, I was kind of just giving it taps with the hammer, just tap, 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 and just hitting it all around until I kind of got the right angle, and then just boop, pop out, straight out. So it took me about 5 minutes playing with it until it came out. But now it's out. You can put it on the side. It's not gonna bother you at all, but it gave us a space that we needed. So now we can come in here and remove this long bolt. It's a size 30, so we're gonna use our trusty old 1/2-inch ratchet with the size 30 socket. You don't have to worry about the nut because it has this mechanism where it's gonna hold it in place. So you can just turn this and it's gonna come out. Obviously you kind of won't be able to do this on your own strength, so just pipe it, okay guys? Just use the pipe, add the pipe to the ratchet like we always do. Just pipe it, and you'll be able to do that and remove this. Remove this, and the whole air shuck is gonna come out. Just put it to the side, and then I'm gonna show you what else you have to remove for the installation of the new one. We have to keep removing some stuff because it's not gonna fit. The new one is not gonna fit in due to the length, the distance. But so just do this, and we'll go from there. Don't forget, pipe it. Okay, guys, so we removed it. As you can see, it came out really easily, just from here, just poof, very easy. There's the old one. Here's the new one. The new one is more, it's expanded because it's a coil. So it's the coil spring, so it's kind of like more expanded. So it's not gonna really fit in this space. So what we have to do is, and I already kind of worked on it, but we have to take out this nut, which comes with this, it's holding this stabilizing bar, which goes all the way across to the other side. And as you can see, I actually removed it on the other side too, because you have to remove it on both sides. Since you're replacing the suspension, I'm assuming you're doing both sides at the same time. So you need to get on that side and remove that same nut that's here, this one. And once you remove it, just take this out, and it kind of you can fold it to the side, and that will give us some space to push this down to where we can have the length that we need from here up here, so we can place in the new suspension. So take out the stabilizing bar. It's a size 18. It's very easy. Right here, take the size 18, take it out, but you have to do it on both sides because they're connected. It's one bar. You won't be able to temper with this without removing that. So you have to loosen that one out first. See how it's out already? So on that side, on that tire, go and remove this same nut. And once you remove it, just take this out. See how it comes out? Just take it out. You can actually push this up a little bit and take this out totally and put it on the side. And then we'll have a space to put in the coil. And I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna be able to do what else. Okay, so I removed that. As you can see, I put it on the side. Now it gives us some more wiggling that we can play with, and I dropped a little bit more. And now this, the suspension here. Don't worry if you mix it up with the front ones and the rear ones. They are different size, so you can't put the rear ones in the front. This diameter is different for the bolt, so you can't do that. But this has the same mechanism as the front, to where you see the shape. Let me put this down. So we're gonna pay attention to these bumps right here. This bump, and this bump, and two of them are bigger than the other one. This is the small one. And then when you come in here, you can see the shape. So see, this is the big one, that's the small one, and then that's the big one up here. So that's how we're gonna place him, with the small one on that side. So the triangle is kind of pointing that way towards kind of like the driver a little bit. I do recommend, before you put it on, use a size 14 socket, or you can use your wrench, and just loosen up this bolt, the middle one. Loosen this nut, give it like about 3 turns. That way we can turn and play with this, because it's not gonna fit. Remember, like I mentioned before, like what happened in the front. We can place this bolts up here in the holes, but the bottom side is not gonna fit on that. We're gonna have to like turn it and kind of like adjust it to make it line, you know, perpendicular, to make it parallel to that shape, so it can fit in there. So loosen that up before anything. Just loosen this up, and then obviously there's a lot of strength going on. I'm gonna use both of my hands, but come in here and put the top side first. Once the top is first, don't put the nuts, just place it, have it in position, and we're gonna put the bottom first, the bolt at the bottom first. So we're gonna put that bolt, but make sure that we are inside this. So make sure that these 3 bolts sticking out are not out here, but in here, okay? So I'm gonna use both of my hands. I'm gonna walk you through. If by any chance you need more space, for example, the length is not enough, then you can come in here and remove this bolt, which is very easy. It's a size 18. You can remove this, and this is gonna drop even more, so you can have more distance, and then you can place in your suspension there, and then in here. Eventually we're gonna use a jack if necessary here at the bottom to lift this up and add pressure if we put like if you take this off and stuff like that, because it's gonna be too down. But eventually once we put the suspension there, the coil shock, once we put it there, we're not gonna have it all the way up, so we're gonna jack this up a little bit, jack it up, and then we're gonna have enough space to put the nuts, and then we can put everything back in order. But let me do this first, and I'll tell you how it goes. Guys, I put it in here. I just pushed it in, and I didn't really tighten up the nuts. They're in there loose. As you can see, the whole system is loose. But I just have it there so you can hold it in place. I want to show you how it doesn't fit right, because I guess it's not really parallel as it's supposed to. But just since I loosen up that middle bolt up there, the one I mentioned, the size 14, just come in here, just use any pipe. I'm gonna use this and turn. See, I just turned it. There we go. And now it's better, right? So just turn it until you find the right position, because this, you can spin it now that it's kind of loose. We're gonna tighten that up later on. And now that I can place it in position, I can even move this, you know, see, push this down or so, or whatever. And also remember, I can also bring this more up because it's loose. So you're gonna put it in place, push it in here, and we're gonna, you know, run the bolt across and get the bottom side in. Once the bottom side is in, we can worry about the top. But as you can see, the top is already in there, and then we can put everything back in place. Like I mentioned before, if by any chance you need more space or whatever, you can take this off, size 18, remove this, and this will just come down. It's very easy, actually. No pain or nothing involved. Just you have space and all that. So let's do that, and we can tighten that up with a wrench later on. All right, guys. So as you can see, put it in position. Did everything by myself, so it's not that hard. Just worked it smart. It was really quick. As you can see, I just pushed it in a little bit. This knot is kind of those self-holding or whatever, so just put it in place right there, and this mechanism will hold it. You can just turn that. Go ahead and turn it all the way. Yeah, turn it all the way, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna jack up the car here. We're gonna put the jack here and jack this up so we can push it all the way and place those knots properly. So tighten that up, like I mentioned. Make sure you use the pipe. Make sure you put that really tight. And then just come here, put the jack here at the bottom, as I mentioned before. You can have an idea. I'm just lifting up the whole base right there. And as soon as I jack it up, this should go. Yeah, as you can see how it goes up. There we go. So just go ahead and jack it up a lot. And now we can bolt those 3 nuts here and take care of that. Once we do that, don't lower the jack. Even jack it up probably a little bit more so you can put the stabilizing bar. Don't put the stabilizing bar yet if you haven't done the other side, because remember that needs to be loose for you to be able to do the other side as well. So you kind of have to do them at the same time. That'll be basically, you'll do both at the same time whenever you put them back on. So if you just done this side, do this and then go work on the other side. And then whenever you're in this spot in the other side, you're gonna do that and then come here and do this at the same time. But you'll probably have to jack up the car, jack up this part only, this mechanism here, so you can go up. It gives you space to put that back in and put that nut. Very easy. I did this job by myself. You definitely need the right tools, which is the basic tools, but the sizes that I mentioned before. Make sure you use the pipe, and you definitely need the towers and a jack for sure. But it's a really nice job. I saved a lot of money. I saved a ton of money. Shops were charging a lot of money, and then the parts are cheap. On the link that I have in the description, it's a really good price, and they're good quality parts. So just I hope you guys like this. If you did, please just give me a like, subscribe, share it, click the bell, all that stuff.